So I have a lot of stuff to say and this might take a while, but basically I'm doing Deadlocked to Wasureta now. This is also going to be the first thing that I actually script, because every other announcement I've made I kind of just made it up on the spot. However, I had a lot of time in the car today and I didn't have anything else to do, so yeah, I'm just reading off a Google Doc now. First of all, in case you somehow don't know what Wasureta is, it's a pretty short top 21 demon with gameplay I would say is around the same difficulty as Bloodlust. It is considered harder than Plasma Post Finale, and Void Wave is nothing compared to this. But why would I be attempting such a stupidly huge difficulty jump? To answer this question, we need to travel back in time 3 months to when I was trying to beat Hypersonic on 60 Hz. Even doing Deadlock to Hypersonic at the time would have been a huge difficulty jump, as it was considered to be the same difficulty as Cataclysm. I didn't think much of it at the time though, until someone jokingly GM'd me about making the biggest difficulty jump. I actually took this seriously and found out that the biggest difficulty jump at the time was Bloodbath, a top 130 demon to Thinking Space, which is harder than Bloodlust. After trying out a bunch of extreme demons, the hardest being Auditory Breaker, which was top 60 at the time, I decided on Void Wave, a top 74 extreme demon with really fun and easy gameplay. The thing that made it hard was its length, being over 4 minutes long, which means you would have to be extremely consistent to even get a decent run. I spent a month on the level and then dropped it for another month, but I eventually started bypassing to 120 FPS instead of 144 and managed to get 47%, 39 to 65, and 65 to 100 within 2 days. However, it was then that I found out someone had done the new biggest difficulty jump in the game, Magma Bound to Wasureta. This was huge and it seriously crippled my motivation as Void Wave was on the edge of my skill. I started practicing Wasureta, but I knew that I would never beat it on 60 Hz. After a lot of thinking, I decided to use all of my saved up money as well as my birthday money to buy a 144 Hz monitor. On September 30th, I started playing on a high refresh rate for the first time. It was pretty hard to get used to as there was a lower input delay and the physics were slightly different. However, I could feel the difference, especially with the wave game mode, and I knew that with enough practice, I could get a lot better at the game. I spent a couple hours playing random extreme demons to try and get used to it, and the next day I felt ready to play Wasureta for the first time on 144 Hz. My schedule that day was busy, so I only had a little over 2 hours to play. When I first got into the level again, I noticed an immediate improvement. Everything felt so much smoother, and all the ship parts were 10 times easier. Because the drop was so fast, the higher FPS made it so much easier to see, and I was actually getting semi-consistent. My previous best was 11% on 60 Hz. After an hour on 144, I had gotten to 12% 4 times. I knew if I could make it to the drop, I had the potential to get a pretty decent run, but the pre-drop was extremely difficult for me because of the extreme ship parts and bad luck. I also tried to record, but every time I loaded up OBS, my FPS went down to 60 again, which kinda ruined the point of the new monitor. So I decided to just play without recording to squeeze every ounce of performance out of my computer and into the FPS to keep it barely at 144. I hope to get to the drop at least once and die to one of the numerous hard parts there, such as 21, 23, 26, or 28. I would have never expected to get the run that I did. The footage I will show you is hacked, but it is as accurate as I could make it, and I tried to keep the click pattern and movements the same as it was when I actually did the run. 31% isn't a lot, but the thing that told me I might be able to beat the level was the fact that I fluked from 12. It could have just been dumb luck, which never happens. But even when I was practicing the drop, I could tell I was getting consistent. It also only took an hour and a half from when I started playing the level on 144 Hz to get the run, which in my standards is really good. Like, it took several hours to get to 37 on Void Wave. So yeah, that is the story of why I'm doing Deadlocked to Wasureta and trying to get the biggest difficulty jump in the game. I'll try and find a fix for the recording issue, but for now I will just be practicing a ton off camera to try and get consistent, and my streams will be focused on Minecraft. Thanks for the support, everyone. I know I switch demons a lot and it can get pretty confusing, but I will stick with Wasureta for as long as it takes to beat it.